The third game, the playoffs day 1, game 3. It's between the number 2 seeded Brooklyn Nets versus the number 7 seed Boston Celtics. The Celtics, they had to play in the play-in tournament. They ended up beating the Wizards to secure the 7 seed, and now they're in. But it doesn't look too good because they're facing the Nets. They have a healthy Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, and James Harden, a three-headed monster, and Boston's just, they crawled their way in. They lost Jaylen Brown to the season due to a wrist injury, and he had to get surgery. He's not coming back. They traded away Daniel Tice to the Bulls, and I just don't see the Celtics doing a lot this series. Jayson Tatum is special, and Jayson Tatum and Kemba Walker are going to take a lot of the pressure this series because they're the two main guys. They're the two main guys on offense. I mean, they do have Fournier, and he can definitely contribute, but when you have three guys, Kyrie that can just create his shot, he's just a wizard with the ball. He can just dribble around anybody. He can pass. Kevin Durant, who has just looked exactly like how he left. He's still deadly. Doesn't even look like he regressed at all due to his Achilles injury. And James Harden, the beard just looks rejuvenated that he's not in Houston anymore. The West is just very difficult for Harden to make it out of the West, but now that he's in the East, it's looking very good for the Nets. And the Nets, they got swept last year, I'm pretty sure, by the defending champion Toronto Raptors because they didn't have Kyrie, they didn't have Kevin Durant, and James Harden was still in Houston at the time. But now they have all three of them there. They have Joe Harris, they have DeAndre Jordan, they have Blake Griffin. Unfortunately, LaMarcus Aldridge, he had irregular heartbeat, so he had to retire. He was going to be crucial to the team and contribute, but, your health comes first. So the Nets have all the pieces necessary to win a championship. It's just a matter of getting there. And as long as all three of them stay healthy, it's going to be very hard for them to get beaten. I mean, you may take one or two away from them, but it's going to be hard to beat these guys 4 times. Like, it's scary. I'm a Miami Heat fan, and I'm honestly scared of the Nets. But so the Celtics have their hands full with this series, and my heart is telling me that they'll at least take 1 or 2, but with Kevin Durant, Kyrie, and James Harden, I just think they're going to get swept. I looked at the season series. The Celtics have yet to win one, and they were healthy at the time, and the Nets didn't have all their guys in, and they still were able to beat the Celtics. And now that they're at full strength, I'm supposed to say that they're not going to win all of them? I'm not crazy. I mean, anything can happen in the playoffs, so, I mean, I would not be surprised if something irregular happened. But, I think the Nets will have an easy time. I think they'll be able to advance and take care of business. The loss of Jaylen Brown is huge. Now it just falls on Kemba Walker and Jayson Tatum, and it's going to be a lot to handle. Tatum had to drop 50 points against the Wizards to just secure a playoff spot. I don't know if he's going to be able to do that in 4 straight games to the production of 30 points per game by 3 different guys. It's just going to be a tall task, but I'm looking forward to the matchup regardless. I think it's going to be great. I think the Celtics are going to fight regardless, and there's not much you can do. There's not much you can do. I'm talking about it. It's just going to be hard. It's going to be hard to overcome this obstacle, but the Nets, they're the real deal. They look like a legit contender in the East.